it's the Lawn Gnome, and welcome to your October 2019 episode of Out of the Vault. If you are new to my channel, let me just say welcome, it's a pleasure to have you. And for all of you returning, I'm sure you're all excited to talk Disney once again. So I know that it's October, and when it comes to October on my channel, your friendly neighborhood Lawn Gnome really likes to get into the Halloween spirit. But based on the Disney world, I really couldn't seem to find a real Halloween-themed topic for this month's episode. So I said, what could possibly be Disney's biggest nightmare? Well, how about let's talk about a bomb in the box office? And that is the 39th animated classic from 2000, Dinosaur. Now, before I get into the movie itself, I have an interesting fun fact, and I have to thank one of my subscribers, Dan, for telling me about this. Apparently, while Dinosaur may be a canon classic in the United States, on the other side of the pond, particularly in Europe, it is not classified as a canon classic. In its place is a 2006 CGI film from Disney's offshoot animated studios, The Wild. I remember when that film actually came out in theaters, but it looked so stupid to me, especially considering where the Disney Animation Studios was in the CGI film department. It definitely was not a movie that I wanted to see at all, and it really didn't do so well in the box office. But I think it's kind of funny to see how a movie like The Wild would be classified as a canon classic somewhere else instead of Dinosaur over here. So, Dinosaur was a very big leap forward for Disney's animation studios. I still remember the 10-minute trailer for this movie, which of course was the first 10 minutes of the movie. And one of the few things that was very much talked about in regards to this film was the amount of technology that was used to create this grand-looking film. They actually filmed real backgrounds and put CGI dinosaurs in these backgrounds to make it look as real as they possibly could. The grass looked real. The water streams looked so real. Everything in this film was without a doubt one of the most beautiful things that anyone had ever seen. And to that film's credit, it really is a fantastic sight to behold. There also is an absolutely beautiful score from James Newton Howard in this movie, and it really is one of his best pieces. I really love how it drives the film and how it really does fit into the film, and unfortunately, that's the only two things that I have to say about this movie that are absolutely great, because I do in fact remember seeing this movie in theaters, and I wanted to see it just because of how it looked. And that's basically all you're gonna get when you see this movie. It looks great on the surface, but unfortunately, there's really nothing in there. There is no real meat to this story. As a matter of fact, it was great the first time I saw it when it was called The Land Before Time, directed by Don Bluth in the 1980s. This is the story of an Allosaurus named Aladar, who is voiced by D.B. Sweeney. When he is only an egg, he is misplaced by a couple of crazy natural things, and he is raised by a family of lemurs on a little island, and then a meteorite hits the Earth, and it causes all of the things on Earth to change, and now it's about all of these remaining dinosaurs and mammals trying to find the nesting grounds, or as I like to call it, the Great Valley. So, it's kind of scary to know that there was so much beauty, at least from a visual standpoint, put into this film, as well as a great bunch of decent actors. Alongside D.B. Sweeney, you had Alfre Woodard, the great Ozzie Davis, Juliana Margulies, and you even had Max Casella from Doogie Howser. But there's really nothing to these characters, and quite frankly, when you put these CGI dinosaurs into this beautiful background, it really just clashes horribly. The surroundings look so real, but the dinosaurs themselves look so fake. And there isn't isn't really much to get behind in terms of these characters. I found them to be very one-dimensional, not likable. I thought that the jokes fell flat almost every single time, and most of the time in this movie, I just found myself being so bored. At least, thank goodness, this movie is a very quick watch. It's just a little over 90 minutes, so it actually really does fly by. If anything, in regards to the characters, there are these two old dinosaurs that Aladar sparks a friendship with, and I really do like the way that they play off of each other. I think that these two old ladies are just absolutely a delight to watch on screen, but there really isn't much of a hero in Aladar. There really isn't much of a villain in Kron. They also have these Carnosaurs, which are like the antagonists that are attacking the herd from getting to their goal, but again, they're very one-dimensional, and that pretty much sums up how I felt about this movie in general, and it's quite a pity considering everything that was done to put this movie together just to create a truly one-dimensional film. Although, you also have to give credit to Disney's animation studios for stepping out of the box. I did a video collaboration with Cecilia over at That Disney Chick, and I'll put a link to that video in the description box, where we talked about this time period for Disney Animation Studios, where they were really trying to step out of the box and try to give the audiences of the traditional Disney classics something different, because we had just emerged from the Disney Renaissance, and I refer to these next 10 years of Disney as the lost years. They tried to give us all of these very interesting stories, a lot of male protagonists, as a matter of fact. They really tried to steer clear from the princess themes until they got back to the Princess and the Frog, and some did very well, but most of them, unfortunately, fell flat, and I also have to say that Dinosaur happens to be one of them. This was also the first time that I saw Dinosaur since I went to see it in the theaters, and I didn't really care much for it then, and I truthfully do not care much for it now. It's not a movie that I would recommend. Now that I've seen it to review this movie, I have no intentions to see this movie again, and no, I will not buy this movie on DVD. And I also have to say one other thing about Disney. Outside of the Jim Henson series Dinosaurs, Disney really does not do dinosaurs well. Maybe there's that one segment in Fantasia from 1940, but I have still yet to see a truly great dinosaur-themed film from Disney, even though I do have a couple of nice things to say about The Good Dinosaur. I've already done so, and when I do rewatch this film, we'll talk about it a little more down the line. But yeah, for the time being, I'm going to be giving Dinosaur 1 star out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Dinosaur, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.